And hello, everybody. It's Wednesday, isn't it? It's Wednesday, my dudes. And I'm feeling a lot better now. If people don't know, so the previous week I got a cold, and I thought I was getting over the said cold, but then by Friday I just didn't. By last Saturday I just wasn't feeling 100% better. As I said before, rather than take the risk of streaming and think I'll be fine, and then end up making myself ill again. I took that stream off, which is twice now I've done that. I think the only reason the cold didn't get any better is because of the shift in weather. It going from raining, pouring down rain, to ice rain, to snow, and I had to cycle backwards and forwards into work, from work to in that, did not help the cold get any better. But I am fully almost there. For as far as I feel like it, as long as we don't suddenly have snow all of a sudden again, which I very much doubt it, because just checking the weather. I mean, we've got rain, which is not understandable for British weather, but it is going to get starting to get warmer because obviously we're getting closer and closer to spring, which I can't wait for. But as it's all coughs always tend to linger, so I might be clearing my throat a lot. But hopefully, at this time round, by the end of the week, the cough will be completely gone, and I'll be fine and dandy. But yeah. Well, not more things. So I mentioned before that, I've mentioned this before, that I am getting a new model this year, and it's going to be a good couple of months out of the way, but the person I'm doing with has a board showing the progress, and seeing some of the progress of it gets me excited. But it is going to be months away, but some might say, why mention now? Because I'm too excited to keep it to myself. Ooh, it's exciting. But yeah, it's like months away still, which I'm fine with. Patience is a virtue, as they always say. Yeah. I think that's everything. If anything else pops into my head, I can always save it for during the gameplay. But today, I've said before, I tried to stream what I'm in the mood for, and I was like, I started to move some more Genshin Impact, and I was like, I really want to do Dia's story mission, so I figured we'll do that today. But as I've always said with these story quests, they tend to vary in length. So Dia's, they're roughly an hour and a half, but they could end up being longer. So if it ends up being an hour and a half, we'll probably do some other stuff in Genshin, because there is a small event related to the domain things. Which we could do a bit of that, I guess, if we do end up going through it too quickly. And obviously the rest of the week is Hogwarts Legacy, which we could end up finishing, because I said before, the PS5 had an update the other week where now it shows the progress to the how far you are to completing the main story, and we're like 88%, so we could. But that's always the thing with like open world games, which I hope Hogwarts Legacy doesn't do, but a lot of them have that bad habit where like the last 2-3 missions tend to drag out too long, or like what usually happens is like the missions lead into it would be too long, then the last couple of missions will be super fast and super short. So it would be so that's why it's still for the entire week. But if we do end up finishing a lot sooner than expected, we could always play something else. But yeah, that is that. So I think, and also last night I don't know why, because usually I do it in the morning. I guess that's why I was going to forget, but I always check my computer for updates. It's always important to check for updates, because sometimes if your stream is lagging, it is usually 9 times out of 10 it is because of because your computer needs updating. I mean, I've never had the issue when my stream lags, but I've had my computer slowed down, and I was like, why is my computer slowing down? And then I checked for updates. It's like, oh, it needed updating. So it needed updating last night. And the reason I always bring this up is because sometimes the updates tend to fuck with me when it comes to streaming. So hopefully, touch wood, that doesn't happen. Hopefully it doesn't happen. But enough of that aside, let's switch to the game. This table is wood, or table, desk. It's a desk I have. Right. Stop the music. And okay. because like some story missions I do tend to do off stream. But if I feel like if I feel in the mood to do some on stream, I will do some. And Diaz is definitely one of them, because Dia is well in my party, and also one of my favorite because obviously. Which I have been leveling up, but I've been taking a slow approach because I've got to a decent enough level that I shouldn't have to worry.
I'm trying to remember. What else did we put on our shopping list?
Food and more food, knowing you.
Oh, what a mouth-watering smell. Paimon would know the aroma of biryani anywhere. Let's go get some.
That wasn't on our list, was it?
We can still add it to the list.
Well, if it isn't the Traveler and Paimon. Wasn't expecting to see you here.
And here's the hot fiery lady and her friend.
Hello there. Oh, it's been quite a while.
I almost completely forgot her name.
So you two are still hanging out together. Dia, didn't you say last time that you were gonna head back to the desert?
I said I was going to resign from being her bodyguard, not that our friendship was over.
Oh,
we're still the best of friends.
Oh, that's so sweet. I know I've said this before, but it's pretty much. I'm not sure if it's confirmed. I just saw like on TikTok that someone said that she does not have ears on her head. That's just the shape of her hair. It's a hairstyle, but it still doesn't help that it kind of still looks like ears. She's got like wolf ears or cow ears or something like ears. What if you actually do that as a hairstyle? I'm sure there's some people who can.
The Holmayanis also still post jobs from time to time. Their pay is always generous, so me and the other mercs never pass them up.
I told Dia to just stay at our place when she took one of those jobs a few days ago. My parents were delighted. They even said that it always felt like we were missing someone whenever Dia wasn't around.
Aww.
That sounds like something they would say, all right. They're always so welcoming. Anyway, the job is already taken care of, so I was gonna head back to the brigade as soon as I finished a little shopping. But the master kept insisting, and I ended up staying for another day.
You can stay for as many days as you want, Dia. Father hasn't even gotten around to treating you to his best dishes yet.
Ooh.
You know I'm not the kind of person to stay put in one place like that, my lady. Don't worry, though. There'll always be next time.
I just want for once for her to have a fedora and go, "Milady." That's all I can ever think of when I hear "Milady." Is like, I don't have a top hat, but you know, "Milady."
What? She said they'll treat you to the best dishes. I can't believe you can still refuse that.
But wait, didn't you say last time that you would take me on a trip to the desert? Why don't you just take me with you today, when you leave? There are so many places I still haven't visited yet.
I'm sorry, my lady, but no can do.
Lady.
There's still a few things I need to take care of back at the brigade. Besides, the desert hasn't exactly been the most peaceful place lately.
Oh, come on. Not this again. That's also what you said last time and the time before that.
Oh, she's just concerned for her friend's safety.
I know, I'm sorry. Just give me some more time, and I promise I'll plan the best trip ever for you.
All right, fine. To be perfectly honest, it's not that I wanted to go, it's more like I feel like something is off about you lately. Ever since you first set foot on the estate a few days ago, you've been acting anxious and even paranoid. Have you been delaying our trip because you've run into some kind of trouble?
Nah, are you kidding? You're worrying too much.
Would you swear on that? Friends shouldn't lie to each other, you know. I wouldn't pry any further if you're willing to swear on what you just said. But if something really is bothering you, then just tell me. You know I'll help you however I can.
Oh, Looks like Junior's was onto something.
She hit the nail on the head, as they say.
You're too perceptive, my lady. Seems I can't hide anything from you. I just thought that nothing good could come out of telling you about the messy happenings of mercenaries. Knowing too much only leads to more trouble. Mercenary life is a dog-eat-dog world where Mora reigns supreme. Everything operates on a completely different set of rules.
That doesn't change anything about what I just said, though. We're still friends, and I can only support you if I understand what's bothering you.
My lady, you're not gonna stop until you drag it out of me, are ya? All right, I'll share what I know. Let's go somewhere else first. This isn't exactly the best place for a discussion. Okay, let's talk here. Just try not to draw any extra attention. As you may already know, the Eremites have both a lot of mercenaries and a complex organizational structure. Many mercs are no different than me, just going around looking for jobs to earn some mora. My brigade is called the Blazing Beasts. We're not a large group, but every member is loyal and brave.
Blazing Beasts. Because are they all pyro vision users? No animal based? Because she's known as the Lioness.
However, not all Eremite brigades are like mine. Some are willing to cross all kinds of lines for the sake of Mora. The most notorious is a faction known as Deshret's Relics.
Deshret's Relics? Judging from the name, they must really look up to...
Yep, you got it. I've heard that you've already crossed paths with Ain al-Akmar. They're one of the groups under the Relic's banner.
Oh, you mean the group that tried to sell us the Divine Knowledge Capsule? Yeah, they weren't friendly at all.
Deshret's Relics is composed of many smaller brigades like Ain al-Akmar. The Relic's headquarters issues orders to all brigades under his control. On any other day, I would want nothing to do with them. Unfortunately, though, the brigade that's stirring up trouble now is none other than Dakan al-Akmar.
Dakan?
I think it means beard or something. Believe me, it's a really stupid name. I found it insufferable for years. Anyway, the real issue is that Dakan al-Akmar is led by my father, Kusela.
Oh, damn.
Say what now?
Say what?
I think I'm starting to understand your anxiety now. But what did they do?
I won't go into details, my lady, but they've been involved in a lot of violent incidents. We're talking hundreds.
Hundreds?
Yep. The scenes tend to be quite gruesome, too. They strip the victims of all their valuables before murdering them.
So they kill them naked?
Not only had they targeted merchant caravans and ordinary citizens, but other mercenary brigades as well.
Ah.
That's beyond terrible. They won't even spare their own kind.
I don't know how Deshret's Relic sees it. All I do know is that Dakan al-Akmar has become more and more aggressive over the last few years. If I don't do something about them, then even my brigade or the people of Aru village could become their next target. I just wish I knew what's driven him to do this.
Money?
Yeah. How can your father do such terrible things?
I mean, you just said mercenaries are all about money and they're going extreme lengths for money, so money? Money?
I don't know. People change. He's always been pretty pathetic. But at least in the past, there were still a few lines that he wouldn't cross.
That's setting the bar pretty low.
I mean, if he was even remotely decent, then why would I have to leave the brigade and cut all ties with him?
Good question.
He was loud and foolish, with no real sense of purpose. Instead of doing anything useful, he spent most of his time drinking and chasing after women. Of course, the other brigade members were just like him. Their ruckus would go on night after night.
Sounds like a nightmare.
What about your mother?
Mother?
Did she ever step in to stop them?
Unfortunately, I never knew my mother.
Oh, probably one of these drunken sleeping nights with a random woman.
I'm sorry, Dia.
Oh no, wait, then she
I
still...
didn't know.
Oh, it's one of those classic ones where she died giving birth to Dia.
It's alright, my lady. That's pretty common in mercenary circles. Didn't I mention that my father was chasing after women? I was the result of one of those encounters with some random person.
Ah, I guess I was.
He told me that he wasn't sure who my mother was. And in any case, she never came to see me.
I can see if the logic was reversed, but her mom would have given birth to her. Was she like popped her out of a vagina and was like, peace, I'm out? That's the only way I could think that would work. Maybe it'll explain it.
He'd say, "You'll be fine as long as you remember to stick with Dad." But even then, he left most of the parenting to the brigade. The one thing I do remember is that he used to tell me stories. But the problem was that he had terrible taste. He only knew a few stories, and even those tended to be pretty stale. They were tales of desert warriors defeating dragons in the forest, or stories of mercenaries rescuing princesses from rebel armies.
Sounds like your typical fairy tales.
More or less, yeah. They were interesting maybe the first or second time around, but after about 20 repeats,
Oh,
it started to get a little dull.
I was trying to think of a joke related to a show that would be dull after we watched it several times over, but I got nothing.
He seemed to think those stories were the best things ever, though. He was so into them that he'd call the whole brigade over and make them perform the whole thing as a play. Even the toys he gave me would all be story props. I'd get helmets, shields, and toy swords. It was only much later when I realized that the shows were more for him than they ever were for me.
What an interesting guy.
Yeah, I've always found him pretty childish, but that was something I could just shrug off. I had no reason to despise him. Until I grew up and learned the true face of Deshret's relics for myself. Looting, blackmail, violence, and fraud. They not only accepted such heinous acts, they would even openly boast about them. No one in the brigade was any kind of hero. Instead, my father and his cronies were more like the bad guys that needed to be taken down. Did they really think that as long as they didn't do any of that stuff right in front of me, I would never know?
I think I can understand your feelings. The difference between perception and reality must have hit hard.
Yeah, but don't worry, my lady. It's all water under the bridge to me now. I had a huge argument with my father and left that place behind for good.
And drop kicked him in the face. I don't know if I can imagine her doing that.
I'm not investigating them due to any bitter feelings I still have towards my father. I just want to protect those that are close to me.
You just want to find out.
Yeah. I told the boys to gather as much information as they could. Most of the reports concern violent incidents, but there's also some talk of smuggling.
I see. But isn't this investigation incredibly dangerous?
It is, but every mercenary lives life on the edge. It's a lifestyle that I enjoy.
That may be true, but it'll be impossible for those who care about you not to worry.
Well, now you get why I didn't want to share any of this with you.
What should we do? They both have valid concerns.
I'll go back to the desert with you, dear.
Huh? But there's no need for you to get caught up in this mess, too.
Oh, there's plenty.
Well, he's super tough, so if he went into the desert with you, then Paimon bets the problem will be solved in no time.
I thought Paimon was going to say he's very stupid. I was like, I'd be like, hey, maybe not that smart, but stupid's a bit far.
I'm inclined to agree. I'd feel a lot more at ease if you took him along to help.
I'm kidding, I am very stupid. You can count on me.
I'll wait for news from you in the city until then. Please, stay safe.
I'm honored that you care so much for me, my lady. All right, then let's get moving. Our first stop will be Caravan Rebot, where we can catch up a bit with my fellow mercs.
Alright, let's head my brain with that. Doggy! What's the dog doing? Okay, I should stay focused. Oh, I see. Let's get this animation on the start. And there goes my brain. Already.
Hey, Dia, you're back. Are these two friends of yours?
Please, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Likewise. There's no need to be so formal with us. We're a pretty casual crew. Anyway, since we've got a newcomer, let me fill you in on what the Khan al-Akhmar's been up to lately. They've become extremely aggressive. Apparently, even their own now have become acceptable targets. They even attack other relics brigades, just the same as any other mercenary brigade.
Even the most ferocious beasts still protect their own. And it sounds like they've thrown that straight to the wind.
That's right. Once they've collected enough loot off the other mercenaries, they sell it off to a different brigade, or turn to merchants on the black market. A portion of their profits is immediately exchanged for more food and weaponry to be used in their next violent operation.
That's terrible!
Yeah, and it really makes you wonder why they're so desperate for Mora. A few days ago, Isham and I trailed them for a while, and even disguised ourselves as merchants to conduct trade with them. We were able to learn a few things from the exchange. Rather than saying they're out to plunder and hoard Mora, it'd probably be more accurate to say that they're experiencing an internal power struggle.
Wait, a power struggle?
You heard me right. The vast majority of their victims are mercenaries from the other brigades of Deshret's relics. If their only goal was Mora, they could have gone after anybody. The targeted nature of their attacks points to a power struggle between the different brigades within the relics. That's the only plausible explanation we have. Unfortunately, we weren't able to find out anything more specific. It seems they're also trying to keep things under wraps. Oh, one last thing we discovered was that over the past few years, as the Khan al-Akhmar became more and more active, Deshret's relics as a whole became a lot weaker.
They were old.
It sounds mighty strange to me, too. Harun, you can leave the rest of the investigation to us. Gotta say, though, I didn't expect you to go on a whole undercover mission during the few days I was gone. Sounds like you were really putting your necks on the line, no?
Nah, it was nothing. We're just as concerned about the situation as you are. The Khan al-Akhmar is your father's crew, after all.
What he said. Besides, Dia, haven't you done more dangerous things than all of us combined?
Yeah. And while they went to talk with Khan al-Akhmar, I took a look at the last camp they attacked.
I was just trying to figure why this situation seems so familiar. I forget her name from Leeway. It's the one with the short blue hair. 'Cause she has like her own like group of people that she sends out missions. I think we did that on stream related to that one. This is really similar to her.
Any survivors of the attack were already long gone. There was nothing of value left in the camp.
Ah, Hisham and Khalaf. You're here too.
We rushed over as soon as we saw you come into Caravan Rebot. Although this new friend of yours looks a little green behind the ears, I'm sensing a special vibe from him.
Well, I've got green on me, but not behind it. Well, I've got an earring that's green, so that, but it's not behind my ear. Never mind.
Now that we know you'll have a capable partner with you, we can also rest easy.
Hey, what about Paimon? Feel anything special?
Oh, you're also planning to tag along with them?
Of course! Paimon is the traveler's most important guide. Wherever he goes, Paimon will follow.
Oh, in that case, Then you'd better take care of her too, Dia.
Don't underestimate Paimon!
I still wonder about her sleeve things. Like, are those pointy? If she wanted to, could she just like pull a sleeve full, wrist forward and go into someone's neck? Cufflinks are really cool, or something to that effect, because they look very pointy.
Don't worry about her. She may look tiny and helpless, but she's been through just as many battles as the Traveler here.
You mean floating there and doing jack shit? I think that's what a Halo thing. Like, is it pointy at the tip of that? Could she like grab it and like actually raise it sharp and she just goes like a boomerang and cuts someone's head off? I think don't mess with Paimon. Fuck you up. I hear Paimon say that once. That'd be hilarious to hear, I swear.
Even if she had only survived on sheer luck, then that alone would still make her quite formidable.
I had no idea. I guess I shouldn't judge by appearances.
Oh, one other thing, Dia. When you're free, why don't you update the deputy about your upcoming schedule? We held another recruitment event a few days ago, but everyone only came to see the Flame Main. You weren't around at the time, so people were pretty disappointed to only find our crew of rough, unkempt guys.
Flame? Oh, her. Well, can you blame them wanting to see Dia?
The deputy put a lot of effort into the event, but it was basically for nothing. Only a few people chose to stay, and that really got to him.
Sorry to hear that. I'll be sure to bring him some great liquor next time. I left in a hurry and I couldn't make it back in time for the event.
Gotta admit, I can understand their disappointment, though. You're our brigade's main selling point, after all. Now, if only the deputy could figure out a way to bring a few more smoking hot members into our ranks.
Wow, he straight up said it. That is some balls on that guy, but let's be honest, he ain't wrong. She is quite the looker.
Keep dreaming. Remember the last time I invited a couple gals into the brigade? You all just froze up with your mouths gaping like a bunch of scarecrows.
That's basically just saying virgins. Just basically just calling it.
The awkward silence and weird expressions left quite the impression on them. They were originally interested in joining us, but after that, they both told me they were too uncomfortable to stick around.
Hey, didn't we agree to never bring that up again?
Huh? Wait, are you serious? Why have I never heard about this?
I don't think you were part of the brigade yet.
Are you kidding me? I missed a once-in-a-lifetime moment like that and you weren't even gonna tell me?
All right. We can tell you about it later. Now's not the time.
Hey, don't you try to change the subject. You and Hisham get your butts over here and tell me everything right now.
He's got that face of like, oh, I don't wanna.
Are they always like this?
More or less. There aren't many rules or graces when it comes to mercenaries. We're used to just speaking our minds.
Well, that's nice.
If someone starts getting under your skin, you just yell right back at them. And if that doesn't put an end to it, then you just challenge them to a fight.
Kick the shit out of them.
But we also don't tend to take many things too seriously. Being direct and getting it all out of your system as soon as things come up is better than keeping everything bottled up, never talking about it.
I'm sorry, this guy's running in the background. It's so cartoony. Let's see if one more of them goes past. No, I guess not. Wait. No.
That's also why I never spare their feelings when I talk to them. If I want to laugh, I'll laugh. If I'm angry, then I'll unload on them. It's hard to stop once you get used to it. Though, I can never do that when I'm with the Homayanis. Hey, knuckleheads! Can you at least tell me the rest of the intel before you go back to your bickering?
Yeah, you hear her, Holof? Told you we gotta focus on the investigation first. I drew up a map. Right here is the spot. There you'll find the merchant caravan responsible for getting rid of Dakan al-Akhmar's looted goods. All you gotta do is wait and ambush them in the evening. They'll have no idea what hit them.
Perfect. Thanks for that. Be sure to pass my regards to everyone else in the brigade as well.
Will do. You stay safe, Dia.
Alrighty. Let's get this investigation on the way. Ah, so it's out of the dessert place.
This should be the place. Let's find a spot to hide and bide our time.
What should we do to pass the time, then?
It's gonna come down to a fight one way or another, so let's all be careful.
No need to worry. He knows his way around a fight.
Indeed I do. I can kick ass and take names and chew bubblegum.
I'm not worried about that. What I meant is that we probably shouldn't go too hard on the enemy. After all, we still need to get information out of them.
Fair point.
Here they come. You ready?
Ready as I
Let's
be.
not give them a chance to react and end this quickly.
It's funny how Dia lists trial count when I actually have her. Oh well.
That's close enough. Lucky today.
Shine down. Inazuma shines eternal.
You fucked up my. Well, no, I didn't mean to do that. Shit. I messed up my special attack there. You wanna go, boy? Oh, back. You're dead. Well, not dead. They don't die. They just get knocked out. Oh, I just fucking knew it was gonna happen. And the stream's lagging. God damn it. Did that fix it? It did. I knew it was gonna happen. Let's wait a bit. I said Windows had an update the other last night, and sometimes it will fuck something up for me. That is the only time I have to sort with this. Hopefully.
You're the Flame Main.
Good. That saves me an introduction. All right, time for a little talk. Are you buddies with Dakan al-Akhmar now? Tell me, what are they after?
You know the code of being a mercenary just like everyone else. The first rule is to never divulge key information about our employer. What makes you think I'd talk?
Should probably beat the crap out of you and then make...
That might have worked on an amateur, but I know you're just looking to protect your reputation. Think about it, though. What's your reputation worth if you won't have the other tools you need to succeed in this line of work? Tools like, I don't know, your
balls.
limbs or eyes?
Oh. I thought she was going to grab him by the balls. And that would definitely make him talk. But she said his eyes.
You've got 5 seconds. You might want to think twice about how much your employer's information is worth to you.
Whoa!
It's alright, Paimon.
I'm not joking around. We can do this the easy way or the painful way.
Damn.
2 seconds.
I'll save you the trouble.
What the fuck?
Huh? Are you crazy?
What did he do? Did he gouge his own eyes
He
out?
tried to bite off his own tongue. Quick, search the area for any first aid supplies.
Oh, fuck! And hard.
I definitely didn't expect him to go that far. Thankfully, the wound wasn't too deep, and he just passed out from the pain.
Ah, So he basically failed him to.
Why would he be so extreme?
I just wanted to test his mettle. You can get a lot of mercenaries to talk just by threatening them. I didn't expect him to be willing to go through so much pain just to deny us some intel.
Well, he's out cold for now. We could wait for him to wake up, but maybe it's not a good idea to interrogate him any further. What should we do?
Yeah, don't worry about it. It'll be a waste of time to interrogate him again after that. He might just hurt himself again if we start asking.
You could always squeeze his balls. I'll get any man talking. Give him a little tug and twist. I'll definitely loosen his tongue.
There are lots of goods around here. Let's search the area. Maybe we'll be able to find something.
Okay, no ball twisting then.
I'm really sorry.
Alright, let's see what we can find. There's a lot of food, water in these places. It doesn't seem like. Okay. This one then, the one I'm standing on. Sort of weapons in these boxes as a bunch of. Good. Okay. File off in this bag on the floor.
We found a piece of paper with a bunch of names on it. Maybe it's a record of something.
Let me take a look. If this really is a merchant caravan, they should have a record of their transactions. Yep. I see an entry for Dakana Lakmar right here. Kusela, Idrisi, Bashar, and Takriti. All familiar names. Dakana Lakmar has been trading for a hefty supply of food, weapons, and medicine. It seems that in the past, they used to receive some canned knowledge as well. This caravan is just one link in their logistics chain. Once in the rainforest, the caravan will exchange the looted goods for Mora, and the funds will then be passed to a specific person. That person will then pack the caravan full of necessary goods, which will then be brought right back to Dakana Lakmar. Wait, why is there no Mora value recorded for the final transaction?
No value?
Yeah, every transaction before the last one was marked with an exact amount of Mora, but the final one, where they paid for everything to be brought back to the desert, was simply marked as delivered.
Maybe the more amount just happened to be cancelled each other out.
Perhaps. But they couldn't have known how much they would make off selling the loot. Do they not care about profit margins at all? Anyway, the next part's the records of the goods themselves. There are a lot of entries. Everything was probably sourced from the rainforest. Huh?
What's wrong?
It's drugs, isn't it?
Shazaman Homayani?
Homayani? You mean Dunyarzad's family? Could it just be another family with the same last name?
I'd be surprised to find someone with the exact same first and last name. Shazaman Homayani is Dunyarzad's father, and the head of the Homayani family. Just what the heck is going on here?
Calm down, dear.
My lady's personality, and she wouldn't deliberately keep something like this from us.
But what should we do now? All we found is just another mystery.
If we want to get to the bottom of this, we want to be on the. Oh fucking goddamn it! The stream. It is going to be one of those days, isn't it? Son of a bitch. I was lost. Are we back? I hate when it does this. I hate when it splits into parts like this. It's because I wasn't paying attention enough. I knew this fucking they would fuck something up. My fault. I guess I jinxed it. Is what's happened. Okay. I have to keep a watchful eye on that. Because if I'm quick enough, because the solution, if anyone's new, is that if I disconnect and reconnect from my internet, it usually fixes it. Because I've said enough times, I've got a good computer and I've got good internet. It shouldn't dip like that. And the only solution is to disconnect and reconnect from the internet. But if I'm not quick enough, it will split the stream into parts. It won't keep it in all together. So I've got to be quick about it. So I have to keep my eyes glued well, not glued. I'm going to be constantly looking over to the left. Is what I'm getting at, because I need to make sure it just doesn't dip. Because there's always a risk there'll be some dialogue missed out from each part when it dies. Hopefully nothing was.
If you ask me, we already have no choice but to confront her about this. I'm not worried. It's too early to make a verdict yet. I still have faith in the Homayanis. Let's go find my lady again. We'll tell her everything and see if she's willing to lend us her support. If we're lucky, we can not only figure out the mystery of this paper, but also follow the trail of breadcrumbs to the people responsible at Dakan al-Akmar.
Dia, are you sure this is the best decision? What if instead of getting the help we need, we just end up revealing everything we've discovered to the enemy?
I've considered that possibility, but even still, I want to tell her what we found. I think I owe her that much. She showed genuine concern for me when we first brought up the topic. I can't repay her kindness with doubt and suspicion. That's not how I deal with people.
You're right. Paimon wants to trust Dunyarzad too.
I hope we helped her.
Yeah. Let's pay another visit to Sumeru City.
Alrighty. Still, I hate this keeps happening to me with the connection thing. Bloody Windows 11. It's a pain in the butt. These issues didn't start until I decided to upgrade to Windows 11, and I really regret it. The thing is, yeah, I could probably go back to Windows 10, but I'm worried it's just going to fuck everything else over that's been updated on my computer, like other softwares and stuff. So it's best just to hope there's another update, or this only happens today, and the rest of the week ends up being fine.
Oh, you're back a lot sooner than I expected. You mustn't have run into any trouble then. Well, how did it go? What did you come up with?
Actually, we're still investigating. It's just that we've discovered something strange.
I see. The clues you found have led you back here, in the city?
Something like that. Yeah.
You all look a little dispirited. Whatever you found must not have been very encouraging after all.
Again. It's just not giving me any leeway. It's just dipping almost fucking a million. There's only 4 minutes have passed and it's already going down again. Sword. Well, as long as it doesn't split it should be fine. Just wait a bit and hope for the best. If this continues onwards, and if Dia's story mission does end up being as long as I think it will be, and it still continues, we'll probably just finish her story mission thing and call it for today. Because the only other solution I could think of if this keeps on happening is probably resetting my computer. If it happens too frequently with the stream lagging, because sometimes that might solve the problem. But I'll keep my watchful eye on it all the same.
Why don't you discuss it with me? Maybe I'll be able to say something to cheer you up.
It's okay, my lady. It's not so much about me being upset with my father or anything like that. How should I put this?
So something is wrong. Even the Traveler and Paimon have been uncharacteristically quiet.
So it's just, the Traveler doesn't really actually verbally talk that much.
On any other day, Paimon would have already waved to me with a smile and shouted, "Dunyarzad, we're back!" So tell me, what happened?
Well?
My lady, please prepare yourself for what we're going to tell you next. It concerns the Master.
The Master? You mean my father? Okay, I understand. Don't worry about me. I'll listen as attentively as I can. My father has been supplying goods to Dakan al-Akmar?
Yeah, it makes as little sense to us as it does to you.
Now it's going up and down, up and down, up and down. No, it's bad again. I think what we'll try and do is at least get out of this conversation before... Oh, crap. Okay, is it fine now, or has it been split into another part? I haven't had to deal with this issue in a very long time, but... As usual, Windows wants to fuck me over today. But I've had this problem happen before where the gaps between it dipping down so far that it's lagging hasn't and when I reset the computer that solved everything. So keep an eye on it for the time being. So because this can be very annoying to stop during the conversation, but at least want to end. My computer's pretty fast, so resetting it and getting it back up will take maybe like five minutes or tops. But I also want to at least help get us out of a conversation, so we're not wait, so the rest of you are not waiting 5 or 10 minutes as I reset my computer.
I've never doubted the Master's integrity, so I'm having a real hard time rationalizing how he could ever support an infamous brigade like them. Maybe he's not actually aware of the full story and just stumbled into the deal by accident.
This feels unlikely, though.
I can't help but agree with the Traveler.
Huh? You mean you feel the same way, Dunyarzad?
Thank you for sharing all this information with me. Since you've told me everything you know, I should also tell you about some doubts that I've been harboring for quite a while.
Oh, for peek's sake. This is getting ridiculous now. There goes lagging again. It's not my computer. Oh, there I go lagging again. God damn it. I do apologise to anyone who's new. I think what makes this frustrating is when you're a small stream and you want to try and grow, and someone's very first experience ends up being that their stream is constantly lagging. It doesn't put a good paint or picture of it. But I might, if we can't get at least out of this conversation, because it seems like it's happening every 2 minutes at this point, I might have to just reset the computer, because sometimes when it's doing it this often, resetting my computer always solves the problem. But it might be a good idea to check if there's actually an update. So I'll just quickly check that. I don't know if I can update my computer and still stream though. I've never actually done that. Because even though there was an update yesterday when I checked on the computer, because like I said, sometimes the computer lagging could just be no, there's no update. The computer needs updating, and it's not the case today. Not the case. Okay.
In the past, I thought that my father hired a bodyguard for me so that I wouldn't run away and get lost. However, there are plenty of capable mercenaries in the Corps of 30. Why did my father go out of his way to hire Dia?
About that. Well, the Homayanis really needed bodyguards, so they reached out to the Blazing Beasts. Later, the master told me that I was one of the best mercenaries he'd ever seen, and that I should stick around to become one of his bodyguards. He offered me a pile of mora, so I just signed on.
Well, but that didn't really answer my question. Just think about it. Why did my father specifically reach out to the Blazing Beasts?
Maybe the Corps of 30 just didn't have anyone available, or maybe someone recommended us. I've never given it too much thought. I think I get what you're saying. You'd think none of this was a coincidence.
Precisely. At first glance, nothing seems strange or out of place. But there are many parts of the story that don't actually make any sense.
One more damn shot after this, because this is getting ridiculous. It literally is every 2 minutes it's lagging. I mean, why not should Kudri to stop and start the stream together? That might solve the problem. So maybe we might try that. We'll give it one more shot. And if it starts lagging after 2 minutes, then I might stop and start the stream. That might solve the problem. Might. Oh, even hang on. Let's see. Now doing that didn't even fix it. Now it's dipping between yellow, green, green, yellow. Oh, hang on. I feel like maybe we wait 2 minutes and see what happens and just going through this. It's just, like I said, because if I have to reset my computer, it's going to take like at least maybe 2, 3, maybe 5 minutes to get it set up, and I don't want to be like mid-conversation in the game. It's fine for the VOD watchers; they'll have it just as is. But for everyone who's watching live, having to wait for me to reset my computer and get it back on to get back to this is quite some time. So I want to at least try and finish this damn conversational moment before trying to reset my computer. Point. Okay. It seems to be maybe holding.
If my father had always been in contact with the Khan al-Akmar, then it would make sense for him to bring Dia into our house.
You mean the goal all along was to get Dia to be your bodyguard?
No, that's too much of a stretch. I cut all ties with my father a long time ago. He has no control over my life anymore.
But that still doesn't rule out the possibility that your father has still been trying to influence your life without you knowing.
So, the Master was not likely an innocent victim in all of this?
Does that what things are?
Sorry we put all this on you so suddenly, Dunyarzad.
God. Can at least hold until his at the end of this. The answer to that fucking question is no, it can't. I having to keep switching my monitor over to back to the computer because the option to actually switch it on and off is on the other screen, which I can't do on this second screen for some reason. So I have to keep switching the monitors back over because I'm obviously playing this on the PS5.
It's okay, Paimon. I should actually be thanking you. Regardless of his reasons, if my father has truly been funding a violent group of mercenaries, then it's my duty to bring him back to reason.
But is that really the right thing to do? My father has committed many atrocities and deserves all the punishment that he has coming to him. I have zero sympathy for him. You may call me an ungrateful child, but my feelings will remain the same. However, the Homiyani family has treated me with nothing but generosity and kindness. If we decide to investigate this further, we could end up implicating the entire Homiyani family. I would be biting the hand that's fed me over all these years.
Tia.
Oh.
It's alright, Dia. If anyone were to ask, you could always just say that I'm the one who instructed you to get to the bottom of this.
You don't have to do that, my lady. I'm not conflicted because I'm afraid of taking responsibility. Besides, you're the one we should all be worried about right now.
Hey, it's still too early to give up hope. What was the thing about friendship again?
True friendship is built on trust.
Right, yeah, trust! You said that yourself, Dia. Besides, there's no point on getting all riled up before we've confirmed all the facts.
Trust has not been.
Thank you, everyone. That makes a lot of sense. I
Oh
guess
my
I should
God,
always
damn it.
remember the trust that I've placed in people.
Strange doesn't want to hold today. God, it's not. Did it not work this time? Did we disconnecting, reconnecting from? Oh wait, hang on, no, hang on. It's going so well. Right. I have half a mind to maybe stop and start the stream. But I still want to give it the benefit of the doubt as well, because sometimes it'll do this for several times for like 10 or 20 minutes, and then the rest of the stream ends up being absolutely fine. That's why I'm still trying to see if it will sort itself out.
In which case, my lady, could you ask the master to come out and have a chat with us?
Sure thing. I also hope he'll be able to give us a logical explanation. Let's meet at the usual place then.
Usual place? Ah, right.
Oh, fine. Okay. A part of me wants to wait a little bit. I mean, we could go 5 foot to get to the place and see if it still holds. And we'll try and wait at least 2 minutes, and if it lags again, I might try and stop and start the stream again and see if that fixes it. But obviously, if that doesn't, I might have no choice but to reset the computer altogether. As I said, this is not the first. It's been a long time since I've had this issue where it just keeps on lagging no matter what I do. And last time this happened, I reset my computer and it just fixed it almost all automatically. So I'll wait a little bit. So technology just hates me. Because if I do have, there we go, there it goes. Oh wait, hang on. Okay, it's going. Okay, I'm going to stop the stream and start it up again. Hopefully, that will fix it. Hopefully. Let's see. Did that fix it? The answer to that question is a solid no, it didn't. Or maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna have no choice in that. I'm gonna reset my computer. I'll probably go on like maybe 3 or 4 minutes while I do that. And hopefully it fixes this. Hopefully it does. Hopefully. If not, we'll probably try and finish the story thing tomorrow and do kind of both at the same time tomorrow. But yeah, I'm gonna have to stop the stream altogether, reset my computer, and hopefully everything will be fixed. So I'll be gone for a moment. Well, I didn't even get my model up. Silly me. Okay. We'll see how things go. And it's already gone. It's already gone. It's already in the red. God damn this. Even reset my computer didn't fix this? Is it lagging? Yeah, it's definitely lagging. Just honestly, just give up. Like, it's one of those days where it just doesn't want to work. This is infuriating. Because I'm not. See if this fixes it. Fixed. This is infuriating. Like, all methods have not worked. Like, no programs. All programs that shouldn't be open aren't open. I've tried disconnecting and reconnecting from the internet. I've tried resetting my computer. I've tried bloody stopping this time the fucking stream, but no. Today just wants to give me all this hassle. I mean, it's not. It's technically, if I'm quick enough, it won't split into parts. But it's to constantly kill every 2 minutes, constantly switching between screens is annoying. Wait a bit and see what happens. If we get, let's say, 5 minutes in right now and we have no lag whatsoever, then we'll continue doing Dia's story mission. If not, I will have to try and leave it till tomorrow. We'll finish off it in tomorrow's stream instead. It'll do a bit of both, because I feel like there's probably like, what, maybe like half an hour or an hour left of it, because like I said, the story missions kind of vary in length. But it seems like every bloody 2 minutes it is lagging, it's dropping completely, and I have no idea why. As I've said enough times, I have really good internet, I have really good computer, and since that recent Windows update has fucked me over, or there's something going wrong in my area altogether. I don't know. I forgot to put the music on loop. And there it goes. Not even 2 minutes in, it's already gone. God damn this. Because another part of me says maybe we could do it later today after work, but when it comes to after work, I have no idea what my energy is going to be like. So, because who's not to say later in the day it might be better? Because there is a possibility that the internet could be a lot better, but there's no guarantee. So I don't want to like start streaming like this afternoon and find that the same issue is happening. Because it's not even lasting 2 minutes before it just dips completely. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna go try and get Taskmaster up and see if there's any actual things that shouldn't be open. Anything that shouldn't be up right now. This stuff that I recognize shouldn't be up. Because one advice is when you end tasks and stuff, it's going to be something that I know what it is. Because if I don't know what it is, I don't want to end up ending tasks and stuff that shouldn't be ended. keep waiting. I'll keep going through. So far, it seems to be holding. Oh fuck! Did I do something wrong? Or did I do something right for a change? I just noticed iTunes was open for some reason in the task thing. Okay, maybe that was it. Maybe iTunes was open when it wasn't supposed to. Nothing else that I don't. Well, there's stuff that's open, but I don't know what half of this is, and I don't want to end tasks on something that should actually still be open. Alright. Maybe that fixed it? I'll wait another 2 minutes, because like I said, it seems like the stream will start lagging usually 2 minutes after I quote-unquote fix it after disconnecting and reconnecting from the internet. And from what I can tell... Almost roughly 2 minutes in now. Apparently these story missions do tend to be quite short. It's very rare they're anything but long. So far so good. But then again, was it 2 minutes from when I reconnected to the internet? I wasn't paying attention to the time. There's no other stuff that is open that I feel like shouldn't be. Wait a little bit longer. It's looking like actually I need to pee, so I'll go pee. Then again, I'm worried about the stream dripping together. I feel like if I just go take a piss, but then again, if I'm not really doing it, it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna go take a piss, and if it doesn't, oh no, wait, hang on, there it goes. I was about to say I was gonna take a piss, and there it goes again. God damn it! God damn it today! Just God fucking damn it! It's just infuriating. I'm gonna try and task on that. Same on that. That. Okay, let's see. Only other things I can think of. I'm gonna go take a pee, maybe. I feel like I should still wait 2 more minutes. And if that still doesn't fix it, because there's no other programs I can't see that shouldn't be open. Hang on, there's actually no. And if that doesn't fix it, then the only solution I can think of is none, really. I'm not a computer expert. I'm gonna go and buy stuff I've seen on the internet itself. Then we'll probably just have to leave it till tomorrow. I've tried resetting my computer, I've tried disconnecting the computer, I've closed most programs that I feel like shouldn't be open. And yeah, we've yielded no solutions. Okay. None of the other stuff I see that's open, I don't know what they are, so I'm not gonna task on those just in case it fucks something else up. But so far, what shouldn't be, which I know shouldn't be open, like my VPN, for example, is closed. Okay, we're getting close to 2 minutes, and it's already gone. God damn it! It seems like nothing's fixing it. I don't see any other things that shouldn't be open that is open in Taskmaster. and it's just lagging like hell. This is infuriating, it really is. Because I guarantee we've probably only got like maybe half an hour left of Dia's story mission. And part of me feels like we should just do it with this thing. But to have to constantly go back and forth between my monitors, I think there might be a solution to this. As long as it doesn't happen during a fight. If I go quick, if I get up setting thing, computer, go to next. We're going to do exactly the same thing on that. I'm going to drag it down over to here, and that way, if it does lag on me again, it could just disconnect and reconnect. Quite possible. Pretty sure it works that way, but still. I'm having hope it might have actually solved this issue, maybe? Stop the music now. And switch this back over to this. Maybe take the chance. That'll hold finally. Wait one more minute and see what happens. It's just, I feel like for watching it's a pain in the ass and you have to like stop something every 2 minutes to sort it out. But another part of me is like, well, maybe it'll just eventually sort itself, and no, hang on. It might sort itself out and then finally just work, because that's happened before as well. Just into 2 minutes. Okay, it doesn't seem to, it's dipping a little, but not much. Oh. It seems to be just going up and down rather than dipping. Oh, there goes. In the red we are. Oh no, up. No. Red. Okay, that's definitely red. Okay, because there's another part where maybe it will sort itself out eventually. Because, like I said, these story missions don't tend to be that long. So there's a part of me that feels like it might be fine. Later on. I'm going to take the gamble.
Thank you for coming,
like
sir.
20 minutes to the end of this.
Please allow me to introduce these two. This is the Traveler, and next to him is his travel companion, Paimon.
Ah, yes. My daughter has mentioned them from time to time. It's a privilege to finally meet them in person. But we may skip all the pleasantries for now. What is the important matter you wish to discuss with me today?
Well, we wanted to bring this transaction record to your attention. There's something on this record that we're all pretty curious about.
So, that's what you found. Huh. Seems like I can't keep everything from you much longer.
If you wouldn't mind, we'd like an explanation.
Well, it's a long and difficult story. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing. What I do know, though, Dia, is that the truth will bring you no solace. If anything, it will likely cause you a great amount of anguish.
Wait, me?
Yes. I understand perfectly why you came to see me. And I am touched by your collective commitment to do the right thing.
Maybe a good solution to make sure we don't lose dialogue is when I know we're close to the 2 minute mark, wait for it to dip and then do it again. Because I said these story missions don't tend to be that long. And ooh. I saw it dip a little bit, but then went back up again. Wait a bit, because we're almost 2 minutes. 2 minutes in again from the dipping. Because that's happening roughly every maybe 2.5 minutes. Because I'm hoping it will just eventually solve itself. Because it does happen from time to time. Because now it's not on there. Right there. Ooh. Right now it seems to be, instead of dipping directly down to red, it seems to be dipping up and down at the current moment. That's what it seems to be doing at this point, is dipping up and down between red and green, and instead of just dropping straight down to red.
But knowledge always comes at a price. And sometimes, as they say, ignorance is bliss. Your father, Kusela, and I both believed that. Of course, you have the right to seek and learn the truth, but I must warn you. The facts of this matter may reduce everything you've built for yourself into sand, blowing in the wind. If you must proceed, then Kusela's heartfelt efforts will also fade into the wind like a fleeting mirage.
His heartfelt efforts? I'm sorry, sir, but I'm not sure I follow. I've made it this far in life without a single drop of my father's support. I have my own ideals and ways of looking at the world, as well as people and causes that I've chosen to cherish and fight for. None of these things have anything to do with him. I came here today to support you as the head of the Homiyani family. No warning will change my stance on that.
I understand. Then let me tell you a little story.
Sometimes this is going to be like a full cutscene, so maybe you might want to wait a bit to see if the stream will dip again. Sometimes they do those cool like animated cutscenes. It's just as I thought. This feels like this is kind of wrapping up at this point. Wait a bit. I'm still curious to see if the stream will hold out. It's just this feeling when it's a lot of new people coming in and this is their first experience as a stream constantly dipping and dying and dipping and dying, and there is no solution to it. Okay. Well, maybe we might be out of it. Maybe? Doesn't seem to be dipping yet. It's my fault. I jinxed at the start. I said, oh, I hope it doesn't die because I had an update yesterday night on the computer, so it shouldn't be any issues, and here we are with issues. So wait a little bit longer. Because I said it hasn't been this bad in like, I'd say 2 months. I think the last time this happened was where it was dipping too frequently. Was when I was playing Sonic Frontiers. And that's when I thought of like restarting the computer, and that solved the problem. But this time it hasn't. Okay, almost into 2 minutes have passed since I last reset it. So maybe wait 1 more minute. So I do apologize if I'm just stopping here, because I just want to make sure. And it seems like it might be okay, but if it does tend to hold, I think still to be on the safe side, we will finish the story and just call it for the day. I was going to do some extra stuff in Genshin Impact, but what of it kind of being iffy today, it might be best just to try and finish the story mission and call it for today, which is a shame. I don't want to do too much of a short stream, but that's technical issues for you. They will fuck you over. Okay, so far we're almost 3 minutes in. It hasn't dipped yet. Do you know what I think I was just thinking about? I always forget. It's funny how many years pass. I still forget that the clocks changed in the US before the UK. Like usually like a week or two, and I'm always like, oh wait, hold on. Buff is streaming early, and I'm like, oh wait, they've gone through their daylight savings and we haven't. Yeah, it's usually like the last weekend of the month well, not end of March. It's usually last weekend of March, and then the last weekend of October the clocks change for us. So that Actually, that would be this. No, that would be next weekend, I think. Let me check. That would be next weekend. Yeah, that'll be next weekend. Okay, it looks like I wasn't wrong. It is always a good idea. Well, wait a little bit longer just to be the safe side, but it seems like it's stopped being an asshole to me. Okay.
Our family once needed to take a trip to the desert when Dunyarzad was just a baby. Along the way, we were attacked by bandits. They had superior numbers and quickly overpowered our bodyguards. When all seemed lost, a group of passerby Eremites lent us their support. Those Eremites were Kusela's brigade, Dekan al-Ahmar. Kusela's men told me that the attackers were Eremite mercenaries, just like themselves. I was shocked. Why would Dekan al-Ahmar go so far to save us and not spare the fellow Eremites? Kusela was grinning and walked over to play with baby Dunyarzad. She was startled by his unfamiliar face and nearly started crying.
Really? I never knew.
Your baby, like he just said.
He said that he had no particular reason to help us. He just took pity on us because he had a daughter about the same age. We started talking about our children, and I sensed that he was a devoted father. To repay his kindness, I hired his brigade to help out at our estate for a time, and offered everyone generous remuneration.
So, that's what happened.
It was many years before I saw him again. I almost didn't recognize him the next time he came knocking on my door. The man I knew to be strong and healthy had been reduced to a shell of himself. He couldn't even walk anymore without his cane.
So, what happened to him? He was perfectly fine when I left the brigade.
I'm not too sure myself. The only thing that didn't change was his cheery disposition. He said there was absolutely nothing to worry about and that he had gotten into a fight. That was all. He then suddenly asked me if Dunyarzad, now that she had grown, would need a bodyguard of her own.
And so I'm still keeping an eye on the ship because I still don't trust it.
At the time, Dunyarzad was going through a particularly severe bout of her Elazar. There was no need for her to have a bodyguard when she could barely leave the house. But he kept coming back to the topic. Come on, it never hurts to be safe. How do you know a bodyguard won't come in handy one day? I was completely lost at first, until he recommended the Blazing Beasts, and in particular, a mercenary named Dia.
So he was the one who recommended Dia to you.
Indeed. He didn't say it out loud, but it was clear that he saw Deshret's relics as an evil group who would eventually corrupt every member in their ranks. He was already beyond redemption, but he hoped that he would be able to detach his daughter from the vicious world of mercenary life.
Aww.
If Dia could stay in my house and keep working as a bodyguard, then gradually her affinity for the desert would decrease, and she'd be able to leave her previous life behind.
And that's why you offered her such generous compensation?
Yes, but not just because of that. From the moment that he asked me for that favor, I also began to see Dia as my own daughter.
Aww.
And that's also why I tried to persuade you to stay when you asked for permission to leave. I was willing to spend however much it took. Kusela saved my daughter and I all those years ago in the desert. I could never refuse him entrusting his daughter to me.
He was always like that, acting like he's oh so smart and self-righteous.
Kusela said that he'd reimburse me for a portion of Dia's fees. I refused to take any mora from him, but he'd always sent me funds anyway. Eventually, I just accepted them as a token of his gratitude. And that went on for a while until I received another letter from him a few years ago. The letter contained a request to help him buy food, weapons, medicine, and even explosive materials.
Wait! Isn't that around the time that Decano Akhmar started becoming more aggressive?
That's right. When I started to hear some nasty rumors, I became wary. I wanted to meet him face to face to discuss things. But by then, he was no longer receptive to my requests to talk. If I had to guess, it's probably because he doesn't want to put Dia at risk.
But by that same token, he should have also stopped asking for meds.
That thought occurred to me as well. I figured that he probably came to me for help because...
God damn, I knew it. I got too overzealous, thinking it was going to last, and it didn't. Well, it would have lasted longer than before, at least. Before it decided it wanted to dip. I thought for a moment I was out of the woods, and clearly it wasn't. I'm not sure what was cut off, but he just talked about weapons and explosives and stuff. Right, I really actually need to pee right now, so I am going to take a piss, and hopefully the stream doesn't die while I'm gone. I nearly forgot to unmute myself. Just as I got in the room, I noticed it was dipping backwards and forwards. So I might wait just a teensy bit before continuing, just to see if it's definitely holding this time. I've been streaming for nearly 2 hours, and it just doesn't want to solve it. A brain of mine, let me have a win for once and just work. It's infuriating because everything I've tried has not worked. Update must have really fucked with something. Hopefully, of course, we don't have this issue tomorrow, but I think it's holding now. I'm gonna take the gamble. So like I said, the story thing will probably like fairly close to the end, because like, these story missions don't tend to be all that long. So let's switch back to the game and hopefully nothing goes wrong. Right.
I am aware that even such a reduced gesture of support could lead to others coming to harm, but I could not simply reject his plea for help. In the end, it probably was the wrong decision. I plugged my ears to the rumors and just chose a solution that made me feel least guilty about myself.
If you can, please tell me where he is now. None of the things he's doing right now make any sense if he's just trying to keep me from getting tangled up in his world. If all he wants to do is steer clear of me, then maybe he shouldn't have brought me into this world in the first place.
Oh no. Dia, please don't feel that way.
I'm just angry because I can't wrap my head around any of his actions.
Maybe those actions are a way of looking at all of it.
Another way? I don't know. I knew him, and he was nothing more than a childish brute. I can't understand what's going through his head. But I guess you do have a point. We haven't uncovered the whole truth yet. We still need to figure out his exact actions and reasoning for these last few years.
I'll do my best to help. Of course, anything between the two of you would need to be resolved between you and him alone. I don't know Kusela's exact whereabouts. Outside of supplying his brigade with some goods, I tried my best to avoid getting involved any further with him. However, there's a man on the list named Jawed. He used to be a mercenary in the desert and is now a member of the Corps of 30. He's responsible for supplying weapons and liaising with the Dakan al-Akhmar's merchant caravan. I think he should know Kusela's whereabouts. I've heard that he likes to have a few drinks alone and enjoy the cool wind at night outside the tavern. Maybe you'll be able to find him there.
Understood. Thank you, sir. Then I guess this is bye for now, unless...
I'll stay and be with my father here. To be honest, I'm still a little dazed and haven't finished processing everything quite yet. My father has indeed done something wrong, but if I think about it, I'm also not sure if there was a right way to handle this problem. I feel like our only course of action is to turn everything we know over to the Corps of 30 and let them render judgment.
Yes. I am prepared to accept whatever verdict they choose. It's time to face my mistakes.
There are so many local specialties in Subaru. I want to buy more.
The hell was it? Look for an object. Look for an object in this air. Okay, I know. Where's it? Still powered up like a stream, man. Snake person. No? Oh, wait, no, I was reading as usual. So far, so good. That's how long it holds. If it can at least hold until the end of this story mission, that'd be great. There's the dude.
Huh? Who are you guys?
I know what you've been up to. Smuggling weapons to violent brigades in the desert while working for the Corps? Pretty bold, if you ask me.
Shh! Keep your voice down. How do you know all that? Come with me. We should take this elsewhere. I'll be happy to talk things over once we're somewhere private.
Alright.
This place should do. Alright. Back to my question. How did you all know about me?
Don't worry about that for now. You know what kind of punishment you'll face once we report you to the Corps, I assume.
Wait. There's no need to jump the gun. Let's talk this out. What are your terms?
So what's in it for you anyway, Mora?
Mora?
Well, I was a little tight on money at the time, and Kusela took good care of me in the past. I waited in my mind, and I couldn't find a reason to turn the opportunity down. I wouldn't only be helping my benefactor, but I could also make some quick mora.
So it was money. Money!
Let me tell you how it is. We're investigating Dakan al-Akmar, and we're gonna put an end to their operations. If you provide some help for us, then we might just put in a good word later to reduce the terms of your punishment.
Hey, why don't we discuss this a little first? Listen, I made quite a bit of mora from my last run. You just give me a number, and I'm sure we can...
Shut it. My patience is running out. You should know when a mercenary is after something other than money.
All right, sheesh. But you gotta promise you'll put in some nice words for me later. They're always on the move. Here's the spot they were at the last time I made my delivery to the desert. Feel free to go have a look. I'm just telling you though, it's not on me if they're not there anymore.
Sure. And then you can forget about any nice words from us.
Hey, come on. Now you're just being unreasonable.
Really? And how do I know you're not leading us straight into a trap? Don't forget, you're the one with no bargaining chips.
All right, I get it. Why don't you go take a look, and if they're not there anymore, I'll try to figure out something else for y'all.
Now that's more like it. Let's move. And as for you, try to stick around the city until we get back. You don't want us to call the folks from the Corps and have them drag you back to the city.
Alrighty. I still can't believe it took me this long to realize that was a feature. I could just click on it and take straight to where the mission is. It was like 2 months ago now since I figured out I could do it. I've been playing this game since bloody launch. Oh man, this love these little things. It's a fun way to get across. I'm still gonna keep my watch eyes on the stream to see if it's
Seems like
gonna
we're in
lag
luck.
or not.
That should be their camp right up ahead.
Which means I won't be talking much, which is kind of perfect for a game like this where there's lots of dialogue.
Let's go.
So
We'll finally get to the bottom of this ourselves.
sorry if I'm more unusually quiet, but so far it seems to be holding, but we'll see how long that lasts.
I'm here to see Kusela. Tell him to get out here.
Data, why are you here?
To kick ass and take names and shoot bubblegum as usual.
Terminate!
Listen, I never get sick and tired of doing this. Just switching between cows and immediately just making tons of elemental... Oh, he's stuck. No, he's not. Oh, you think you're safe? From a god?
Haven't you all done enough?
So are you also here to stop us?
Stay out of this. It's got nothing to do with you.
Everything to do with me. I'm gonna kick ass and take names.
Let the show begin. Huh.
Look alive!
Oh, I missed that one.
There is no escape!
No, she's so strong.
Damn straight she is.
Enough fighting. We all know each other, and I don't want to take things too far. Just bring Kusela to me. There's no use hiding him anymore. Did you understand a single word I just said? Or do I need to bash your skull in some more?
All right, everyone, let's all just calm down for a second. Dia, the boss can't come out and see you anymore. He died a long time ago.
Oh, shit.
What?
Seems like you've been out of the loop for a while. Guess that's for the best, though. At least, that's what the old man wanted.
When did he die? What happened to him?
A few years ago, Kusela broke up Dakan al-Akmar and went to the Deshret's Relics headquarters by himself.
So is that when you guys started acting up?
We would prefer to call it taking revenge. Every last person in Deshret's Relics must pay in blood for what they did.
So what? So that's why you turned on each other.
Let me start from the beginning. Dia, do you know how the head of the Relics maintained order internally?
overwhelming strength and unquestionable authority?
Those were a part of it, yes. But just those on their own weren't enough. They had another tool at their disposal. They called it a person's record. Regardless of whether they joined by their own will or were coerced, every person in Deshret's relics were forced to leave a record of themselves at headquarters. Whether it be their deepest sin, some unforgivable act, or their most immoral exploit, the record served both as a symbol of loyalty and the perfect material for blackmail.
So you mean...
That's precisely it. Every one of us have a record. Me, Bashar, Tikriti, and all the boys who grew up with Dia and ended up joining our ranks. But you, Dia, you were never asked to provide a record, were you?
I never even knew this was a requirement.
You were probably the only person in all of Deshret's relics who didn't know about it.
Ever since you were born, Boss had been trying to shield you from this organization's sinister rules. Not only that, but he also banned all of us from committing any nefarious acts. He said he'd take care of the dues we had to pay regularly to headquarters. But in the end, he was just an ordinary person. What could he do? He was forced to go to headquarters again and again to account for missed dues and incomplete records. He'd come up with all kinds of excuses and get beaten up as a result.
We all knew he was doing that for you. He wanted to get you out of this world, no matter what it took.
And that's why he became a shell of himself and couldn't walk without a cane.
Wait, but that doesn't make any sense. I didn't know about any of this, and I'd never seen him get injured or beaten.
Because you were too young at the time. How would you ever tell between wounds from a beating and wounds from battle? When you left home after that final argument with him, he seemed to age by a decade overnight. Even his hair went gray.
So even the blazing beasts were...
Yep. It was all his doing. Had he not arranged them to come to you, you probably would have been reduced to a pulp before you ever left the desert.
A few years ago, Boss said he needed to make another trip to headquarters. He was already pretty weak then, and we all assumed he was going to get beaten again. I suggested that he hand the role of leadership over to me, but he said there was no longer any need, since the Khan al-Ahmar would soon be no more. His words made no sense to me, but that night, we heard that a massive fire tore through headquarters and razed everyone's records to ash.
Everyone gained their freedom that night. Many members fled, not just from our ranks, but from the other brigades as well.
Oh, damn, he sacrificed himself.
But how could we leave with a clear conscience? All of us who knew exactly what had happened.
The boss can't have just died for nothing. Those heartless jerks at headquarters took him from us.
From that point on, the sole purpose of the Khan al-Ahmar became revenge. The big fire that Boss started was quite a blow to headquarters' strength. It's given us the opportunity to launch our attack. Even though we're outnumbered, we vowed to see our revenge through to the very end.
But haven't been.
There were people from headquarters who changed their names and went into hiding. Some fled to other brigades, and others escaped to the rainforest. But we won't let any of them escape our wrath. They'll all pay for what they've done.
We've suffered plenty of losses as well. To keep going, we need an enormous amount of supplies, from food and medicine to weaponry and explosives. All we can do is exchange our loot from Mora, and then use that to get supplies. We forged Boss's handwriting and sent out many letters to his former friends. Thankfully, many people were willing to come to our aid. We were also able to attract many mercenaries who shared our goal. We've endured unspeakable pain to win many impossible battles. Deshret's relics have become weaker and weaker, and now we finally have an opportunity to directly strike their headquarters.
Paimon doesn't know what to say anymore.
It's a fucking wow. This is when more violence will only cause more pain.
We do know right from wrong, but we were sinners from the very beginning. We do not deserve the freedom that the boss won for us with his life. Boss always loved his old-fashioned hero stories. Those tales about sacrificing yourself to save the world. We used to always laugh at him for it. But in the end, he really went and lived those stories out himself. As for me, I never considered myself a hero. We're all the lowest of the low. We have no right to even imagine such an existence. But maybe those hero stories he liked foreshadowed everything that was to come. The spirit of the hero touched all those he had saved, and more people joined his cause. Maybe we were all just acting along with the play in the beginning. But as we acted the parts and recited the lines, we were drawn in. And now, we want to see the story through to the end. I'm sorry, Dia. I know you always found us insufferable ever since you were young. Just think of this as a madman ranting.
I'll go with you.
Huh? Dia? You want to go with them?
I grew up with these guys, and I know they're not bad people. It's just that some situations get so bad that it's difficult to tell good from evil. All I know is that Deshret's relics must be destroyed. Furthermore, I want to go see the place for myself. I want to know if my father is still there. I know you don't want to get involved in this, so there's no need for you to tag along. I can do this on my own.
I'm on your side, dear. No, I made a promise to. Yeah.
Yeah. Paimon feels like we'd only regret it if we don't see this through to the end.
Thank you. We'll be a lot stronger together with you.
I bet Boss would lose his mind if he ever knew you'd join us at the very last moment like this.
Considering all the losses and injuries we sustained, we can't afford to turn down someone as powerful as you.
He can think whatever he wants. But the fact is, I owe him this much.
Alright. So it's weird hard to tell how long this mission's been, considering we haven't stopped and started the stream so much, but you know, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. Because if I say it, I'm probably gonna jinx it, so I'm not gonna jinx it. Okay. So this fast travel point is here. I don't want to jinx it. But oh, hello. Hello. Some tension, huh? But we're about 20 minutes in since I last reset the internet. Well, not reset, disconnected and reconnected to it. So maybe it's finally holding itself together. Because I said this before, it's happened many times where it'll do this, and after a while it'll sort itself out. And it's quite possible there was some technical things going up in the area, and now it's been solved or something. I don't know. I'm not an internet expert. When it comes to computers or internet, I usually ask my brother or my sister on these sorts of things because they know more than I do. Because I've never really been that much of an internet person. It's only been in the last, I'd say decade, like around 2013, maybe 2014 is when I really started using the internet a lot. I'm not saying I never used the internet, but I'd rarely use it. Like during the 2000s when the internet became more of an easy thing to get hold of. Although the internet's older than that. I think it wasn't until like the 2000s where it was one of those things where it was more readily available, where it was getting increasingly less uncommon for.
We sure didn't run into much trouble on the way here.
Should be. I don't think they have enough manpower left to post guards and defend their perimeters.
What was I saying? To the point where it was rare for anyone not to have the internet. Because I know for some young people that's hard to believe, but there was a lot of times where people did not have the internet. Either they couldn't afford it, or they just didn't see the need for it. Kind of like smartphones. Yeah, it wasn't until like 2013 where I found myself using the internet more frequently. I'd only ever use it every so often if I ever wanted to, you know. Let's get into this. If I wanted to ever know about a trophy or how to be a certain boss, or email or buying stuff offline off the internet. It was very rare that I used even social media.
Wow. Paimon didn't expect it to look like this on the inside.
That's what she said.
They should all be holed up in here. Don't know how many people they've got left, though.
Who cares? We'll round up all of them.
It looks like this might be long, because even if I count the gaps in between it, it's almost been just 2 hours.
Still, we
of
should
this
be
story
careful.
missing.
Even if they've only got one shot left, it could still take us out.
Forgot many.
Yeah, we'll know what they're really capable of once we've landed some hits on them. Deshret's relics may have been a force to be reckoned with before, but their name means nothing now.
Hold on a second, I think I just heard a knock at the door. It might be post, might not be post. I might just supposed to be going through the letterbox. Quick. Yeah, just things going through the letterbox. Because I'm expecting some more plushies in the post, VTuber related ones that is. I haven't checked out the tracking yet, so I might thought it might be them. But no, it's just the post coming through the letterbox.
Yeah, they don't stand a chance with you here. I'll take the lead. I've been here once before.
So who wants to throw down, beat down? Makes me think out in America. I always forget like America, that's not as common thing. Not to say that they don't have things go through their letterbox, but it's more common in the US to have post boxes. I'd be just so weary of that because that's out in the open. It's like a good feet away from your front door, which means someone could steal your shit. Which has, I know that does happen in America, where people steal other people's posts. It's no wonder that a lot of Americans have those cam things at the door so they can see when someone tries to steal their shit.
Spring forth! Torn to oblivion!
I know it wasn't going to be it.
Let's get it on!
Oh, I'd love to get it on.
Propagate! Illusion shattered!
Oh, time for the fire fish, bitch! Doesn't matter crap. Ow, rude.
Inazuma shines eternal!
Ah, you the last guy. Sucks to be you, buddy.
Where do you think you're going?
Oh, we're not done, huh?
There is no escape!
Ah, there we go.
This way, follow me. We're almost there.
God damn it, I knew I fucking jinxed it. No, I shouldn't have said anything. I fucking jinxed it. Okay, this seems fine. Hopefully. I'll keep a watchful hawk up. Oh.
They went charging ahead without checking for any traps.
Oh, well, there you go.
Hey, you guys okay?
It seems like we just got trapped in here. Don't think we triggered anything else.
Trap!
Watch out, the enemy's coming from ahead.
Well, now that things have come to this, seems we'll have to fight our way through.
Don't worry about us. We knew something like this could happen. Go and take a look around. There could still be another way through. Let's go! We can't let the boss down!
Let's check if there's another way. The sooner we can make it through to help them, the better.
Indeed.
Let's see. I think I see a way through over there, but it's being blocked by something. Let's try our luck with that mechanism.
Ah,
Okay, let's go.
some good old puzzle solving. Shouldn't be too hard. It's probably just a simple point the light beam or destroy the light beam, one or the other. Maybe raise it a little higher. No, it's got to be lower. Oh, I said change the color. Okay, change the color. There we go. Oh, there's a chest. That's something. And a robot who's going to get his ass kicked.
Look alive!
There we go.
Go, Barbara, go.
Go, Barbara, go.
Another mechanism like the one before, but this one's being blocked off in the middle.
We just need to adjust it a little.
Ah, I think I see it. Maybe. I raise this one. No, not lower it. I need to raise it. And change the color. That does something. Oh. I think I see it. Ah, I see what I've done wrong already. And I see the stream is lagging again. Oh, maybe. God damn it. I was doing so well with it not being a hassle. Now it wants to be a hassle while we're in a dungeon. I was really hoping it was going to hold. Wait. Because now it's just... Oh no, it's gone to red. Okay. Disconnect. Reconnect. Change color. Okay. And then lower. Ah. And then lower again. I was really hoping for just last. No. Butthead. We're doing two tango, is it?
Let's get it on! You asked for it.
Ah, fire first. I'm going to have a good close eye on the stream game when it lands. Ah, more of you?
I'll protect us.
Torn to oblivion!
Ah!
Germinate! Shine down!
Let the show begin.
Oh, come for the fire fist!
Dead meat!
Alright, so moving forwards. You know, I'm not going to say anything. Last time I said anything, I jinxed it, so I'm not going to say anything this time. I'm just going to let it be. Let it be, let it be. Aha. Oh, that one's never been, so I need to rotate it again. And then raise it. Damn it! Those fucking... God fucking damn this. Nope, one color. That's weird. Shouldn't... Oh. Unless there's... maybe I need to deal with this one first? Yeah, it does look like it. Oh, fuck, I need to drop my mouse on the floor. But my knee managed to stop it. See, just as I thought. Change colour. Rotate. Then lower. Change colour. Is it lagging again? No, it's fine. Is it fine? So like we're close to the end.
I wasn't expecting anyone to make it through from the other side.
Now think again, bitch!
But as a desert dweller, I suppose we should be used to our folks defying all expectations.
Don't waste your breath. You have nowhere to run.
Run? Had I wanted to run, I would have fled 1,000 times already. I witnessed the golden age of Deshret's relics. Even if I could leave this place behind, all that awaits me now are endless days of humiliation and ruin.
Ooh, someone's a little touchy.
Even now, my brothers and I still believe in one thing.
Money?
The greatest should never live to remember their fall.
So you want to go out in a blaze of glory?
Well, let me help you with that.
Let us draw our weapons! We will show them the true power King Deshret bestowed upon his followers.
Stream today. Almost to the end, and it still wants to act up.
They are but two, while we hold within ourselves the entirety of the relic's glory.
It seems fine now, I think.
Wave one, charge! Eliminate them!
Oh, wave enemies? Bring them on, bitch tits! I'm not going anywhere. Some of you guys are going to get your ass kicked.
Now you shall perish.
Fuck, I was too far away. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just gonna kick your ass. I'm not wasting this bit of this one guy. Oh, get ready to get fucking wrecked.
Propagate! Illusion shattered! Torn to oblivion!
Torn to oblivion.
You, King Deshret, will not abandon any one of his followers.
Fuck, I think this is...
I'm getting sick.
I thought I switched characters.
Scatter! Let's get it on! Terminate! There is no escape! Inazuma shines eternal!
Fuck, fucking nice guy. Pissing me off now.
This is where we prove our faith.
Do you all just want to die?
None of us plan to leave this place alive!
Damn, we've got a crocodile in here.
Buckle up!
I'm gonna take out this gal. And damn it.
But we'll meet again.
God fucking damn this. It's now just fucked. No, no. And it's back to normal for a little bit. There we go.
The commander has finally fallen.
But they're still coming at us! This place is like a gladiator's ring. They just keep coming no matter how many we beat.
That's what she said.
Yes, keep fighting! There's no need to fear, and no need to back down! This is our last stand!
When the next wave comes, try to draw away their attacks. I'm going to see if I can take out that high platform.
Get out of my way!
So just the way they just like kind of casually walking was kind of amusing.
Come and face me, Michel! Ugh, so they've broken through the front as well.
Apologies, Lord Michel. They fight like absolute madmen. No matter how much we throw at them, they just keep coming for more.
So, it would seem like this is the end.
Time to pay for everything you've done, Michel.
You think I would give you that opportunity?
I hope so.
I will be buried in the sand alongside all the rest of our fading glory.
Hey, wait!
And there it goes again. Just don't know what's going on today. Because at one point it was holding for a good significant amount of time, and now it just doesn't want to. Yo, what did you just pass out? Did you just die on the floor?
We were too late.
What did he do?
It's over. There's no more need to fight. But if you're still going to cling on to your so-called mercenary's pride, then I'll give you all a good beating as well.
Like, yeah, they're like, no, thank you.
Hey, Dia! I found the mechanism. I'll get you all back up here right away.
Ooh.
Let's go.
Can we open that treasure chest though? We can, yay! Being primos? Yeah, we did. We got 10 from that. How about that? Oh, well, I was going to say, how would I would like to come up, please?
Who are you filthy rats? And why are you always pestering us?
You call yourself a member of the infamous Deshret's relics, and you still can't even tell who's made it all the way to your headquarters?
Who knows what intent a bunch of rats may have? We try to catch a couple, and you all just show up on the other side instead. How are we supposed to figure out what you're after?
Is it lagging again? Sort of dip for a second. Okay, no, won't. There it goes again. That's in only 2 minutes, but at this point we're close to the end of this. So I'll try and keep my eye on it and try and make sure when it needs to. Make sure when it does actually start to, when I know it's going to dip, I make sure that the dialogue's finished talking. Now usually these story things have like an actual like animated, like fully animated cutscenes. I mean, not saying these aren't animated, but you know what I mean. So I want to at least make sure it doesn't lag when those hit.
Hey, have you ever heard of a man by the name of Kusela? Why would I know? It's not like I'm in charge or anything.
This is your last chance to talk.
Hey, I said I don't know anything. I'm just an average member here. I'm telling the truth. If you're here to find someone, why don't you look through the records yourselves? Who can remember every name and face with so many people coming in and out every day?
The irony. His life became a light for so many, yet to others, it wasn't even worth remembering. Where's the records room? Answer me!
It's right over there. All the files are in there. You can go through them as much as you want. It's not like any of them still matter anyway.
I mean the old records room.
The old records room? You mean the one that got burned down? Kusela. Ah, yeah, I remember him now. The guy who could hardly walk. Watch your mouth. That's our boss you're talking about. He was definitely faking it. We all let our guard down as soon as we saw him come hobbling in. But in the short time it supposedly took him to take a dump, he'd already gotten away and started a fire in the records room. He couldn't have possibly outrun us if he wasn't a fraud. And after that, Deshret's relics fell into complete disarray.
Stop wasting our time. Every one of us here is perfectly aware of what he had done. Tell me, where is the old records room?
It's just over there. Go see it for yourself if it means that much to you.
God damn it. So I got too much into it. Wait till it's actually until it's back. Got too wrapped in the story to pay attention. I should be waiting 2 minutes, almost 2 minutes before dialogue, but not missing much heavy dialogue.
There's nothing left in there but ashes. No human could ever survive that kind of inferno. Bashar, Tikriti, let's go. We'll leave the others here to guard these guys. Spare them no mercy if they try anything.
I just hope. Wow. It hasn't given me any luck so far. Stain. That's the stream, that is. Is she hoping to find his body?
This was his final destination. How did he do it? Getting past all the guards with a limp and sneaking in here to start a fire? If he was nimble enough to do that, then he must have been able to get out of here after starting the fire, right?
It's possible.
I'm sorry. I know it's just wishful thinking. Let's look around. Maybe we can find something that's been left behind.
Like a body? Everyone searches around the room. Oh, there's his cane.
Is this a cane? It must be the one that Dia's father used.
Right. Almost in the 2-minute mark again, so I'm going to wait a little bit. See if the stream decides it wants to hold and not fuck me over again. Maybe? Maybe it's actually going to hold for once? Wait a little bit just to make sure, because anyone joining now, I've been having some real annoying technical issues. The stream lagging for no... there we go. There it goes. And I've tried everything I can think of to try and solve it. Or hang on, maybe not. Seems to be dipping up and down now. Which means we're probably getting past the issues. And that's not all. Let's just do the usual thing. And we keep, ooh, I need to knock my bloody phone off. Pop it there. Alright. Because, you know, the solution, which is not a permanent solution, is disconnecting, reconnecting from the internet. Right.
Kusela.
Thanks for everything, boss.
When he just goes, no problem.
We're fortunate to somehow find that cane after that fire.
Let's split up and look around some more. What if something else has been left behind?
But what else could survive a fire like that?
Huh?
Oh, here we go. It's a sword, isn't it?
Thought so.
Wait! Isn't that the toy sword you played with as a child?
Oh, it's a toy sword.
The dragon is no more, for Princess Dia has slain it. Its head now hangs
she's
above the city
adorable.
gates. Her bravery has brought eternal peace and prosperity to us all. Dia, come on. This is the most important line.
You can do it.
But Dia, you defeated the dragon. Everyone's waiting for your speech. Still too shy, huh? All right, I'll do it. I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more.
Aww.
I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more, Dad.
Aww. It's so sweet. And there goes the stream. Oh no! It's fine now. Maybe not.
What's this?
We got you some snacks and drinks.
Don't you remember? You asked Paimon what she would do if she were to wake up tomorrow with loads of money. And Paimon said that she would get boatloads of tasty snacks. You looked super confused at the time, but said it was an adorable thing to say. These opportunities don't come by often. So today, Paimon's gonna treat you to a special crash course on Paimon's life philosophy.
She spent our amounts on other people.
Hey, come on! Paimon's not that stingy. Anyway, the point is that you should eat to your heart's content. You'll feel better for sure once you've gotten something in your tummy. Junior Azad will also be here shortly. She's already heard that we're back.
Right, it seems like the stream
Aw,
might
thanks,
be...
you two. Honestly, this is very unlike me. I just had a lot on my mind on our way back, so I didn't know what to say.
Oh, never mind. I was about to say it's finally solving its issues, but... Looks like it's dipping again. Or maybe not. I think I'll do one more reset just to be on the safe side. As I always say, it's better to be safe than sorry. Thankfully, it didn't... Oh, wait, yeah. Commandments. Yeah, thankfully, it didn't happen during those cutscenes. Because those cutscenes are always so amazing to watch. And I'd hate for the stream to lag while it's mid through it.
My chest was filled with all kinds of intense emotions. They just shook me even more than all the feelings we've shared during our previous adventures.
Aww.
But when everything came to an end, those emotions also vanished without a trace, and I was left feeling more empty than ever before. It was as if I'd lost the thing that was most important to me.
Everything just happened so fast.
Yeah, you're right. To many mercenaries, Mora is the most important thing in the world. But perhaps to us, it's the most worthless thing of all. Idrisi and the others all used to say that they would quit if there was no Mora to be had. But when it came to avenging my father, there was no Mora to be made anywhere. My reality shattered when I found out that the father who always told me hero stories was in fact a bad guy. But look at me now. Am I any different? Despite all my promises about never forgiving him and never trying to understand him, I still went to such lengths to find out the truth, and nearly even shed tears for his sake. We're hypocrites, all of us.
You should never question your your true feelings, though.
Yeah, you're right. It's just a pity that we often only recognize our true feelings after it's already too late.
Oh, that's very deep, actually. So I just realised I think we're 2 minutes in from the last time I had to reset it, but... Seems like it
Hey,
might
you're
be fine.
back. Are all of you all right?
No, we're all left actually. And there it goes. I was so hopeful when it finally decided to want to act up, and now it just wants to act up as we're this close to the end of this.
Ah, there she is.
Yeah. Many people from the Core of 30 came over, and I just wrapped up everything with my dad. All I can do now is wait for their verdict. Huh? Dia, you're looking quite down again.
Paimon will explain. A lot happened while we were gone.
Once Brian finishes telling the story,
I'm sorry. I really should have controlled my emotions better. I just...
It's all right, my lady. You were hurt by all of this as well. Truth be told, I'm starting to feel a little guilty watching you cry like this.
Dia, oh, your pain must be even worse. You shouldn't need to comfort me.
Hey, don't worry about me. If anything, this whole thing has finally shown me the difference between illusion and reality. My father probably thought that people could settle into new lives as long as they moved to a new environment. That thought has even crossed my mind a few times. It's like saying, what's wrong with adapting to a new life? However, there was always something deep within my mind that refused to accept it. This impulse brought me great turmoil, and even made me feel ashamed for turning my back on your father's kindness.
Another 2 minutes in, and I don't want to be, like I said, miss dialogue and have it lag for everyone. Because obviously on my end it's fine. I'm still hearing the dialogue, but for everyone else it's like... It's just really annoying. Thankfully this is almost wrapped up, because I'm almost out of time. Because I can only, like I said, during the week I can only stream for like 3 hours because I have to get ready for work around 3. And there it goes again. At least the plus side, as long as I'm quick at... Oh, wait. As long as I'm quick on the draw, it won't split into parts except for the other couple of times where it did. Right.
But now that I consider it again, it all makes sense. The desert sands are a part of who I am, and I will never be able to lead a peaceful existence.
I understand how you feel.
That doesn't mean I won't be making any changes to my life, though. As an example, I'm now thinking about taking on some small odd jobs. It's just like Idrisi said. I also want to catch up to my father and become a character in his play. Even if the ending of the story may be childish and ridiculous, it won't really matter.
Isn't that neat, though? Oh, you'll be a whole new kind of mercenary, one that's not out for Mora. Why don't we go for a change of scenery once we finish eating? What about stopping by the Grand Bazaar again?
Right. You said you wanted to get a rug for your family.
We'll come along too.
It's always more fun when everyone's together.
I can't thank you enough for taking care of me this entire time.
So it's not quite the end of this. So I guess we'll head to the Grand Bazaar, and that meantime I can still keep an eye on the stream without having to stop mid-dialogue. Weird pathway to go. We're done with it not lagging now. I want to start another dialogue. Oh, we already started. Never mind. I was trying to make sure.
This rug here is quite something. The craftsmanship is exquisite, and the fabric is also of high quality.
And the kid's a salesman. The one selling it is a kid. And there we go again. Oh shit! Here we go again. Oh, hang on, maybe not. No. Or maybe? maybe. This is like, this is just annoying. So many new people. I see some people dipping in and out, and I don't blame you. And at the end of the day, I wouldn't want to have to deal with a stream constantly dipping and dying all the time. But since I'm dipping down to the red, yeah, since it's just going between green. Oh, there we go. As soon as I say it, it's fucking annoying.
Ah, here you are. Finally, I found you.
Hey! Aren't you that mercenary who bit his tongue? You can wait.
Still talk.
Are you here to take revenge on us?
What are you talking about? Do I look like I can take you all in a fight? I just came here to give you something. I'll be on my way to give myself up to the Corps after this. Once I woke up, I hurried to the Khan al-Ahmar's camp, hoping to alert them to your presence. But when I got there, I found no one except the members who were still too injured to move.
Ah, so you probably got there after us.
Yeah, they told me that they had exacted their revenge, and everyone had turned themselves in to the authorities. Even that last camp was not going to last for much longer. I had joined the cause to repay an old favor from Kusela. Now that everyone's already turned themselves in, I might as well do the same. One of the injured members gave this box to me, and told me that it contained some of the old man's last possessions.
Ooh.
Everything left in the camp will get confiscated, so I figured I should get this to you before the Corps could get their hands on it.
Thank you.
No worries. We are all just living our own truths. There's no need to comment or judge anyone for it.
So this box contains everything that Dia's father left behind. Huh. It feels lighter than expected.
What was you expecting? Loads of treasures and trinkets or something? Still waiting to see though. Making sure it's not going to dip. And there we go again. God damn this. Seriously, just god damn it. Uh-oh, it's still in the red. Did it not fix it? Okay, there we go, phew.
Well, back in the day, the first thing he did with any Mora was spend it on things like drinks and meat. But let's see what's inside. What's this? It's just a bunch of junk. It kinda stinks.
Perhaps it's just been left unopened for too long.
A handwritten copy of a storybook. The paper's already yellowed, and it looks like it's about to fall apart. It was against the Academia's rules to possess books for personal use. If he was going to break that rule, he could have at least copied something useful.
That probably means this was really important to him.
And here are a few bags of children's snacks. The packaging's completely deteriorated. Maybe that's where the smell was coming from.
Did he get those for you?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Even when I was a child, I was never a fan of these kinds of snacks. He'd always say that he got them for me, but in the end, he always ate more than I ever did. Who even leaves snacks in a box like this anyway? Isn't that just common sense? Forget it. Let me see what else is in here. A razor, some buttons, some round iron tiles, a wooden toy puppet. A wool scarf, which from the looks of it probably belonged to a woman, and a hair clip? Why are these things here?
Could it be her mother's things? Maybe we might learn her mother is possibly dead after all. Maybe. Man, there goes the stream again. God damn it. God damn it. I'm almost close to the end of this and it won't hold any longer than 2 minutes. So I don't usually have this problem. That's what he said.
I'm suddenly feeling a little scared.
I'm sorry, my lady, but this is just the kind of man he was. He probably saw this box as some kind of personal trash heap and dumped any and everything in there. 2 empty liquor bottles. Tell me, you guys, are these the kinds of things that a normal person would leave behind?
Probably not.
Huh? There's something in the bottle!
What's in the bottle?
Oh, you're right. All right, I got it out. It seems to be a piece of paper with some writing on it. The bottom part's all damaged from moisture, though. Let's hope the writing didn't smudge. I was suddenly seized with an urge to write a letter after finishing this bottle. I just folded it up and left it in the bottle, though. If I end up forgetting about it, it won't really matter. To Dia. It's a letter for me?
You don't need to read it out loud.
It's all right. I'll just read it out. If he went to the trouble of writing a letter, there must have been some important things that he wanted to say. Or at least record down.
What are you doing? So the cat's now on the desk and she's being very distracted. What do you want? Do you want some attention or do you want to sit on my lap? Well, since I have to wait to see if the stream will hold, because we're almost 2 minutes in again, maybe I'll give you some little pets. For anyone, maybe, well, I say anyone new, I think most of the time it always is new people. I have 2 cats. Well, I'd say they're not really mine, they're more family cats because we will take care of them. Bells, who's on the desk right now, who's a small, fluffy cat. And Rusty, who's a normal-sized cat, who's a calico, I think, who's sitting on her little bed, and there it goes. Oh, we're gonna. Okay, you can come on my lap now, are we?
My condition's becoming worse and worse. Can't even walk without a cane anymore, much less go out and have fun. Guess I don't have many days left. If you're reading this letter, then I suppose I'm already long gone. You were adorable as a baby. Everyone loved you. And regardless of whether you were crying or laughing, everyone enjoyed having you in the group. But once you grew a bit older, you were no longer nearly as happy or cute. It's probably Idrisi's fault. He was never up to any good.
Can you believe this guy? He can point the finger at himself.
Anyway, back to the point. To summarize, I'm writing this so you would know not to feel sad for me, even if you end up finding out the truth. The reason being that I was never your father to begin with.
Oh, damn!
Wait, what?
Surely, he must be joking, right?
Plot twist!
I don't know.
I was quite formidable when I was young, and 100 times cooler than some so-called flame main. Really felt like the whole world was under my feet. With just a teeny tiny bit of effort, I felt I could rule over the entire desert.
So I'm hearing on the stream for was lagging again.
But as fate would have it, I went out into the desert for a drink one day and discovered a baby in the sands. It was you. You were just lying there, small and helpless. You were so tiny that if the wind blew for just a little while longer, you would have been buried forever. But your cries were so loud they made my head hurt. Now that I think of it, you really were a bundle of energy.
This is really getting annoying. I wish it would just hold for at least 10 minutes before fucking up. Thinking that didn't actually solve it this time. It's annoying because we're so close to the end of this. Oh no, it did this time. Okay.
Sounds like he's serious.
I told Idrisi and the others that I had slipped up with a woman while out and about. None of them even doubted me. I'm sorry that I had to lie to them for so long, but I really had no other choice. I was their most esteemed leader, after all. It's not like I could just tell them that I suddenly wanted to play at being a father. At this rate, I'll puke up all the liquor I just drank from this bottle. Anyway, Dia, you possess the kind of freedom and kindness that we could only dream of. As far as how you should live your life, that'll be up to you to decide.
That's the end of the letter. In the end, he was still thinking of me as a little child.
But isn't that also a good thing?
I suppose, or I would have suffocated under the sand a long time ago.
He was a good father to you. The fact that he wasn't a blood relative doesn't change that.
Very true.
Yeah. It's just a pity that we had to learn the truth of everything like this.
Do you already have some ideas about the decision that he wanted you to make?
I do. If he first found me alone in the sands, then I want to try my hand at finding the person who abandoned me. I just have one wish. To tell them a story.
Get down the stream. So I'm getting too wrapped up in this that I'm not paying attention to make sure that when it does dip, that doesn't dip mid dialogue.
That there once existed a childish and foolish jerk with a heart of gold. And that only under his care was I able to grow and mature into the person I am today.
If you end up finding any leads, can you share them with us? We go on adventures all the time. Maybe we'll be able to find some information for you.
Sure, I appreciate it. I wasn't expecting you to be so enthusiastic.
I also don't want to see his effect go.
I'll help too.
Thank you. All of you. Thank you so much. My life has certainly had its twists and turns, but I've always considered myself lucky. Because no matter where I've gone, I've always been surrounded by incredible kindness.
There we go. So that could be a reason to continue her, because so many of them do have like to be continuous, but like I said, the only ones who've had 2 story quests at the moment is Zhongli, and I guess we'll switch back to here now. And A, or the Widen Shogun. So I imagine Inita will. But out of them, I don't think anyone else has had a second story quest. But all the same, before the stream starts to lag itself again, I appreciate everyone stopping by. I really do apologize to anyone dropping in, because this is the worst ever I've ever had a stream go. Because I've said before, this has happened before where it keeps lagging after only like a couple of minutes, and usually we say my computer solved that problem, but this time it didn't. So I don't know what it is. Oh, there it goes again. Hang on. I was so hopeful when it finally stopped lagging. But no, it's like, no, fuck you. We're just gonna screw. It has to be something in the air, because the fact that at a point it wasn't lagging after every 2 minutes shows that it must be something wrong in my air. It's like maybe they're doing something, maintenance, who knows. But hopefully Hopefully tomorrow won't be like that. But all the same, appreciate everyone who stopped by. Hope you have a good rest of your day, or even whatever time zone it may be where you are. And I'll see you tomorrow for some Hogwarts Legacy.